He's so grumpy, so fucking grumpy. He's so grumpy, so fucking grumpy. He's so grumpy, he's a grumpy fucker. He's a grumpy fucker.
What are you doing? Why?
So you fell in love with an Australian, huh? And you want to come down under now, because of course she's gonna drag your ass down under to the land where some people claim it doesn't exist. So this video is about moving down under to Australia, coming from the west of Europe. The difficulties I found being an EU member and things that I must do to insert myself in this community, okay? So the first thing is, at least until March 2021, the government has an international travel ban in Australia, meaning that if you are coming from abroad, you need to really justify your stay. You have to be a resident here, and you must quarantine for 15 days, but no other exceptions are permitted for people traveling to Australia at the moment. Unfortunately, hopefully this will change, but the COVID-19 put us in this situation, so we must comply with current scenario. So, as I arrived in Australia on the 1st of November of 2020, myself and my partner, we were in a hotel for 15 days, okay? We had an imposed quarantine by the government. Thank God we didn't have to pay for the quarantine because we applied for the tickets before the cutoff date somewhere in July, okay? So we moved here in November. You see how hard it was, and it was like the third different company or flight to travel here. So we arrived here in November, and we had the quarantine provided for in Sofitel Hotel in Sydney. And we were well treated, I cannot complain. We were there for 15 days though. We were tested as we entered the hotel and as we exited the hotel. As you arrive in Australia, you need to start taking care of your documentation. The first thing I did was the bank account, okay? Why did I do the bank account? Because I did not have my name on any electricity bill or water bill or anything as such. So to have a document with my name on it that will allow me to open further doors, I decided to go for the easiest option, which was open a bank account. So after I opened my bank account, the second step was to go to the New South Wales service to get my driver's license, which you can apply for a 1, 3, 5, or 10-year driver's license, okay? And you pay accordingly too. So I don't remember exactly how much it was for a year. It was something like $60-something, I think. I applied for I got a 3-year driver's license, okay? It cost me something $130-something for those 3 years. Of course, I have to be renewing that constantly. And that works as your ID as well. That's what they carry. They use a passport and they have that. When you're in Europe, you think that, oh, but this is the EU ID. It should be fucking worth it everywhere. Well, think no further, my friend. This is worth shit for them, okay? So you might as well get your driver's license so people can actually look at your document with a familiar face and not say, who the fuck are you? I've never seen that before. I don't care. Same goes for your beautiful driver's license, okay? So driver's license, it's the same scenario. Oh, but I have an EU driver's license. Mine one is an Irish one and all that. They don't give a fuck about you. You're gonna use this to replace your driver's license and that's it. They don't care about your European documents. If you think that you are in the imperialistic ages and you dominate the fucking world, no you don't. Being from Malawi or being from the fucking west of Europe, for them is the same shit in this scenario, okay? So fucking get your documents right. The next step, or you should be doing this simultaneously, is the AHPRA registration. AHPRA is basically the Council of Nurses of Australia, where you need to be registered, practice as a nurse as you did before in Europe, whether in Portugal or in Ireland in my case, okay? To be registered with AHPRA currently in 2020, you have to wait a lot, you gotta pay for your registration fee, and then you have to pay for 2 exams. The NCLEX, that costs you roughly around $400 and every time you do it, and the OSCE, okay, which is gonna be a $4,000 scenario again in the near future for me. Okay, you got your registration and you're working on it in parallel, and you want to work in this country, whether it is as a nurse or not as a nurse. So what do you need to do? You need a visa. You can get a visa by 2 means. First, professional working visa, okay, based on the fact that you are a nurse. Nurse, if you go to the website, the government website, it is one of the professions, thank God, that allows you to apply for this visa. This visa is going to cost you roughly $4,000, not cheap at all. But wait until you hear the second options. 2. The partnership visa, which costs you something like $8,000 or on the lines of. It's a very expensive visa and it takes a while too. And of course, if you're not married to the person in question or if you don't have kids, you will have to prove everything to be a de facto relationship. Bills, accounts together, everything you can, okay? The more associated. My partner is currently the one who's taking care of that process herself, and she knows how much of a pain it has been, to be honest. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. These are basically the main things to have in consideration, at least when you move, okay? Have a lot of money in the bank or a good amount of money in the bank to support you through this process, because you will freaking need it, trust me, until you can work. I can only work after 3 months of arriving here, so you can imagine that I have to be basically very, very careful with my spendings and what I'm doing here. Because at the same time I have to eat and I have to pay for my processes. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and in some way it was clarifying to you. If it was, give me a thumbs up. I'll see you very soon, guys. Adios. Ciao.
He's so grumpy, so grumpy. He's so grumpy, so grumpy. He's so grumpy, he's a grumpy fucker. He's a grumpy fucker.